Hi everyone, welcome to the 53rd episode of the Zicast. As always, I'm your host Ryan Ziax, and today I'm joined by Entertainment Enthusiast Sarah Taheny.
Hello, guys.
I'd like to shout out my technical director, episode 31 guest Liam Chen, for TDing once again. It's a shame you can't see him because as you can tell, we're in a new studio, and we're actually the first podcast in the new studio here in the McMahon Center at Quinnipiac. It reminds me a lot of the 7 Key studio I interned at this past summer. So there's echoes of the Hollywood Zicast, which is very exciting as we get into things with my new friend here. So Sarah, if you don't mind telling us a bit about yourself.
Hello, guys. So, I'm Sarah Taheny. I am a 3+1 communications undeclared for Quinnipiac. But I'm hoping to declare for film and maybe do a minor in journalism. So, I'm looking forward to the new things here.
Interesting. And where are you from?
I'm from Long Island, New York. So I'm more on the South Shore.
Interesting. And what would draw you to journalism?
I guess I like writing. I like writing and doing interviews. I found that when I was taking my storytelling class here, we had like a press release assignment, and we had to like interview a woman who is like a lashes artist, and she just like brows, and I just like really enjoyed asking those questions about like how do you start your business, any advice for any young girls who are looking to go into the beauty industry. And just like hearing about stories, like new things and like news, pop culture, those kind of things.
Interesting. Because, well, as you can tell, I like interviewing people too. And of course, everyone has a story. And I'm really excited to get into yours. So for our first topic, Sarah, explain how you like. So one thing I noticed about you right away is that you have very like big energy. So if you don't mind telling us kind of like how you bring the big energy and enthusiasm that you have.
So, I mean, I guess I'll just say I like being positive. I like having a good positive outlook. I really enjoy meeting new people. I love trying new things, and I just like find life is more fun to just being positive, being happy. I know definitely when I'm like hanging out with everybody, it's just like, I don't know, being like energetic is just like so much fun. And then we just like start, I don't know, being silly. So I really like living life that way. And I find that people enjoy it sometimes. Maybe breaking the ice, that if I'm meeting somebody and maybe I'm a little nervous and they're a little nervous, I find that like if I'm just open about like, oh, this is who I am, you know, I'm energetic, I'm happy, then that kind of eases the tension a little bit, I find. And I've been able to meet so many new people here that are so cool.
Yeah, there's nothing like humor to kind of, like you said, break the ice and kind of bring people together. Like that's something I noticed about you right away, like because we work together on the the entertainment news show here. Liam's a part of, Joe Flynn's a part of, Michael Casplin's a part of, that they've all been on here. And I noticed right away like the enthusiasm you brought to like packages you've made and like the 10 out of 10 hashtags. It's big hype.
Yeah.
And that's something that's very, very like, it just lifts spirits, which is very important and very much leads us well into our next topic, which is kind of reflecting on your time here in Quinnipiac, because it's your first year, and like how you've been able to become so acclimated so quickly.
So I will say my brother, he is a junior here at the moment. So I've always had Quinnipiac in my radar, but I guess I never really, because he's more business and more law and finance, so I never really knew about the entertainment side of Quinnipiac until really coming here and with the org fair and like meeting, like seeing all the clubs and seeing WQIQ and seeing Q30. I realized that one of my friends from home, she's in Q30, Katrina. If you know Katrina Drabowski, she's my favorite. She's my goat. And she does she's not a part of hashtag, but seeing that, it was like, oh, there's stuff here too. Because I've always kind of thought about doing production of news and trying to work with a camera or something like that. And when I found out about Q30, I was like, all right, let's go. And getting into the communications program and doing the 3+1, I'm just like, let's go. Let's try everything. So I'm looking forward to doing more things in the spring too.
Yeah, Q30 is a great way to like quickly meet new people and make connections, especially people who are interested in the same things you are. And I didn't know that you had an older brother who went here. Funnily enough, my older brother went here as well. Like,
really?
Yeah. So you said he's more on the business side?
Yes. So he's looking to do more like law, more like finance stuff. So definitely, two different worlds, but, he's doing great things and I'm excited for what he's going to bring to the future. And I would just say, like, I'm thankful that he was able to show me Quinnipiac and kind of help me get adjusted. And then I was able to kind of pick myself up, stand on my own 2 feet. And I'm like, all right, I see that there's things for me here too.
In very different worlds. Like my brother's going to be a physical therapist and stuff. So like, and I make silly podcasts.
Yeah.
So like there's a funny differentiators. And to kind of get you into a topic, I think that you'll be very excited to talk about. You're interested in things like media, and I know you're a big Transformers fan. So how about you tell us a bit about that?
So I've been into Transformers for a little over a year now. I've always really enjoyed sci-fi, especially like stuff with aliens. And I would say robots. So, I mean, 2 of the best worlds, aliens and robots, alien robots, like, I gravitated towards it, like, during, like, the summer last year. And I started with watching the movies, and then I'm like, wait, there's a lot more than meets the eye. But there was more to the movies. Like, there's the shows and the comics, and then already I was collecting action figures for Star Wars. So then I was like, wait, I can start collecting action figures for Transformers. So I was hooked immediately. But it's been so much fun. I meet new people. It's a way to, meet with new, like, chat to new people. And I don't know, it's like, I feel like not many people like Transformers anymore. So when I'm like able to talk about it, I have brought new people into the fandom. I will say I've gotten a few people to watch the new movie that came out, Transformers 1. And then it's just like so much fun that like I'm watching them like explore new things, like watching the shows and maybe testing the waters with the comics, and I'm like, yes, there's so much to it. So it's just so much fun.
Yeah. Fittingly enough, I gave JJ Tafuto the tagline Entertainment Enthusiast, just like I gave you, and he's a big Transformers fan as well. Maybe you can rival him in that fandom.
I was gonna say shout out JJ. I stole his spot on the way here to come film the podcast. So Transformers fans always
they're
doing
great
good.
The
yeah,
best.
they're saving us. They are. It must be that Optimus Prime motivation. And you said that you mentioned you're a Star Wars fan as well.
I am.
Can I guess your favorite character?
You can guess, yeah.
Is it Ahsoka?
No, actually. I could give you another. Do you want me to give you like a hint?
Sure.
All right, not a good guy, and not a human, so like an alien.
So not a good guy. Is it a Hondo or Naka?
No.
The pirate?
I can do the reveal. You want me to reveal?
You can do the reveal.
General Grievous.
I was thinking either him or General Grievous.
My favorite character. I mean, my friends know I love General Grievous. He's so underrated. I mean, there's so much to his character. Like, he had a sad life. I mean, like, he's like, fighting, and then he's getting betrayed by a Jedi, and he's just so hateful, and now he's a cyborg. Like, there's so much that they could do with the character that I wish that I could see on a big screen,
Hmm.
and have them explore that. Because I really like when Star Wars explores like the aliens in the world, because I find just like the world building is so good. So I love like hearing about, you know, different planets and then like the different cultures of like the different alien species that are around the galaxy. And he just got like good lore to him. So
yeah, I always thought it was interesting. Like the villains in the prequel all kind of mirror Anakin's journey. Like Darth Maul's an assassin for the Sith. Count Dooku's a former Jedi turned Sith, and then General Grievous is a human turned robot. That was once a Jedi, I believe. So it's very interesting that they all mirror Anakin's journey, and of course Grievous, which is a very, very great pull for you to have.
Yep. So he has a special place in my heart. We got a lot of trinkets around my room that are, you know, about him, I guess.
Interesting. Do you have like a favorite Star Wars thing?
Like out of the shows or the movies?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't really know. I guess I would say The Mandalorian. Not because like it's new and because it's Pedro Pascal. He's cool, but I'd say that's my favorite show because it has really good memories of just like me and my dad just like sitting down and all right, new episode came out. We're going to watch it together and just sitting in the living room. We get our snacks. And then after like the episode's done, we would just like look to each other and be like, all right, so this is going to happen. We know this has happened. Like we just get so hyped. So I can't wait to go home and maybe have like a good rewatch with him.
Yeah. I oftentimes forget how much of like a cultural phenomenon The Mandalorian was when it first dropped, because it was like this new Star Wars thing on Disney Plus that was just starting as well. And it was like this huge event because it looked so cool, and it was a Mandalorian, and it was Baby Yoda, who the entire world fell in love with.
Yeah.
So like it is crazy how that all started. And, like, are you a part of any other fandoms?
So I mean, I'm in Star Wars. Here we go. Mass Effect. I'm a big Mass Effect fan. I love video games. I also really like Fallout 4. So out of like other fandoms, definitely like sci-fi video games, like Mass Effect, and then, you know, the apocalypse of Fallout and that universe. I'm in so many. Sometimes it's hard to keep track.
Interesting. What draws you to those other fandoms?
Definitely, I'd say the story. Like I love Fallout because there's a story, but it's also like free roaming. I love story-driven games. I guess a hero's journey is like, I love that good trope. I know you see it a lot in the world, but like just like Mass Effect, playing that and like exploring different options like dialogue, meeting the characters, building those relationships with the characters, really gets into like the immersion of it. Especially Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, playing that game and going through the story and just connecting with the characters, I think that's what really draws me into I guess like those kinds of things and like being in those fandoms, because then like the fandoms are exploring like, oh my gosh, what if this character, because something happened, you know, no spoilers, something happened in like their past, but we don't know, making like headcanons.
Interesting. Very yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like I feel like you're a good vibe fit for Fallout.
I appreciate that.
That's a good, I think that's a compliment. That's definitely a compliment. Yeah. And then you remind me, you give Ahsoka energy a lot. That's why I picked her as your favorite. And then kind of moving forward, since you'll be looking back on this in a zillion years, I'd like to ask you, like, what do you seek to accomplish here in your time at Quinnipiac?
I mean, I would say I would love to do the QU in LA. I know you talked about it with me before. I would love to do a lot more with Q30. In the spring, I'm hoping that my Wednesday will be able to be free, so I can maybe do newscast. We'll see. And I really want to be able to have a good understanding of like behind the scenes of filming stuff, and like the different cameras, different lenses, different like audio equipment, because I used to do like stage crew for my high school's musicals, and doing like behind the scene production, just like I fell in love with that, like putting on a show, rushing to make sure that all the sets are in place, putting on the headset, making sure that all the actors are there, ready to go. There's just like, it's just like so, I guess, exhilarating. So I really hope that I can do a lot more with film and meet new people, make connections, and see where that takes me.
Interesting. Is there a specific role you would like to do in film, you think?
I mean, specifically, I don't really know. I mean, I have like so much interest in all of it that if you give me any position, I'll be a happy camper, because I think all of it is so fun. But I would definitely maybe like to do like assisting any jobs, like making sure that everything's organized, making sure that we have like all the shots done, doing that kind of thing. Just like reminds me of like managing like the musicals and stuff, and making sure that everything is like good to go, making sure that we're on schedule, making sure that all the actors are there. I think that would be really fun.
And that's great skills to really build, both behind the camera and in front of the camera skills. So you think you might be reporting as well?
I hope. I mean, I am a little camera shy, but I would definitely love to report and be like, go on air for hashtag, hopefully one day when I can like muster up that courage and just rip the Band-Aid off and just go on air. Because I think that'd be just like so much fun to just be like, hey guys, welcome to hashtag, like, and talking about the day, talking about what happened during the week, and maybe doing like actual news stuff. Like, I don't know. We'll see where it takes me, if I could just get over, I guess, stage fright.
Well, I extra appreciate you being here, now saying that, admitting that you're camera shy, and of course being in one of the stars of House Money.
Oh yeah, go check it out when it comes out.
Yeah, that Liam helped us film.
That
was a lot of fun. And like, of course, I mean, I think you have a great future in potentially being on camera when you can make that jump. And I mean, there was once a time when I was afraid to be on camera. Now, clearly, I'm obsessed with it. So I think that when Liam laughed at that too.
We gotta get this guy off the camera.
Sometimes maybe I should hold back a little bit. But I think that when you're looking back, because of course this is just your first year here, and things, I can attest to this, things change so fast, and you'll be looking back on this when you're a massive superstar, thinking like, wow, it's crazy what you can do in such a short amount of time. And I'd like to ask you now, moving forwards, what are some things that people might not know about you?
I think because I'm in such like an art-driven world, and my like life just, I feel like always like is surrounding doing art and drawing and doing like productions for, you know, various different things. Maybe people don't know, but I actually really like math.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe I'll complain about it, sure, but like math is really fun. Like, maybe hot take, but I see Liam shaking his head.
I beg to differ, but to each their own.
Like, I don't know, like once you have like that good teacher who's like really, really loves the topic and just like helping you through it, and is like there to guide you through the math, and just like the numbers work, it's just like so satisfying. I mean, I guess maybe another thing you wouldn't think about is I like doing managing. I know I talked about it, but like managing maybe a production, but like honestly anything. You need help with anything, like I would love to help you organize everything. I'd love to keep track of things for you. I think that'd be really fun. But
I know it might sound funny to say, like, what kind of math do you like doing?
I would say algebra. Maybe it's a basic answer, I don't know, but some calculus. I like some calculus. There are like certain units that I would just be like, no. But it may have just been that I didn't luck out with like a teacher who taught in the way that I learn, because I learn in a very like hands-on, guide you through it, and then I can do it on my own. But when you're doing some calculus, sometimes it's just like, oh wow, like, okay, we're doing like logs, we're doing like all these different things. I think that's what makes it so fun, is that there's just like so much to it, that there's just like not just one set in stone, that's math. It's like, that's math, but that's also math. I don't know, maybe that doesn't make any sense, but
because I'm thinking, do you like the structure of it? Because you talk about liking to manage things. Like, is it because like math, there's this like fixed answer that you have to work to find?
I mean, yeah. If I think about it, yeah. Like, maybe I like it because there's different ways of finding an answer, but there's always going to be like the end answer. But there's so many different ways in certain like units of math that, you know, it works for people in like different ways. So, like, you can be solving a equation one way and get the answer, and you can solve for the equation a different way and you get the same answer. But like, some ways are preferred, some ways are like more difficult, some ways are like easier, some ways take longer, but some people like that because then they're able to really go through each and every step instead of like jumping steps, I guess. I don't know, it's hard for me to explain just like going off of my head, but I think that's what I like about it. There's going to be an answer, but I can solve for it in the way that works best for me.
Yeah, I've been hitting the head too much to do math from my football background. But that's very interesting because it differs so much from art, because art is very much something you make on your own, and math is so fixed. But I think it's helpful to like be able to put yourself in both mindsets, to like be able to function well in something that is fixed and then something that isn't, if that correlates.
Yeah, it's like having the creativity to, like, when I'm drawing, because I do draw a lot of Transformers, like I'm able to do so much. Like, I can put them in any pose I want. I can make them go to a cafe and like drink a coffee. I don't know. But then like if you're doing math, it's just like, it feels like stable. So it's like nice to have like both worlds of like, I have my hobby where I can do wherever, like whatever I want, create whatever I want, and then also have something that I'm like, all right, now I don't know, just like a nice stable thing. All right, that's how this works.
Yeah, it's nice having something where there is the clear answer, because there's so many times where there just isn't a clear answer, like subjective things like art. So you brought up that you like math, which leads us really well into our next topic, which is one thing you love and one thing you strongly dislike.
I definitely would say the answer to the one thing that I love kind of is building on other stuff I've been talking about. I'd say I really love how creative humans are. That there's like so much for everyone. Like, there's so much music, and you're not gonna like every song that you hear. You're not gonna like every, musician or artist that you listen to. But like, there's always going to be something that you gravitate towards, and like, there's just so many different genres and then subgenres. Like, I love that, and like, different genres of media that like, I love sci-fi. Maybe someone doesn't like sci-fi like I do. Maybe someone likes more rom-coms, and like that's wonderful for them. Like, there's just so much to be created. And something I'd say I don't like is, maybe it's like a corny answer, but maybe people dwelling on the things that they hate. Because hate, I would say, is like a strong word, and you're not gonna like everything, and you're not gonna agree with everything. But I mean, in my mind, the world is gonna keep spinning. Tomorrow's gonna come. It's gonna be a new day, and I'd rather focus on the things that I love, focus on the people that I love, rather than dwelling a lot on the things that upset me a lot. I don't know. I would just rather like live life to the fullest, and just, tomorrow's gonna be a new day. The world's gonna keep spinning. So I think I don't like sometimes when I think people just dwell on it a little too much. Because I'm like, just go out and live life. Like, I don't know, go have fun. Go do something that you love.
Real. And that's echoes something like I always say that to care about the people you care about.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's very on brand for what you just said, and especially with what you said about art, it is incredible. Like you said, how many genres, subgenres there is. Like there's just so much for people to enjoy, and that within like certain categories, people can like different things. It's like whatever someone could be interested in, they can find it. Like I know Liam's big into music. He's big into metal, which is very different from.
Oh, that's
other...
fun. Yeah. What's your favorite metal band?
Probably at the moment I've been listening to like a lot of like Black Sabbath and like old 70s like hard rock / metal stuff. So it's been I totally agree with like the genre thing that you were talking about, because like there's so much to explore, and like, you know, music's been around for pretty much ever, you know. A lot of people just think about contemporary music, but music's been, you know, a staple of people's lives for such a long time that I think it's just such a it's almost like film, where there's just so much to dive into and so much history that and you know, aside from the history going forward, there's so much more that, you know, is gonna come out of that type of art. So yeah, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, everyone can like what they like in that regard, and connect with other people based upon that. So those are two very strong likes and dislikes. And now moving forward, I sort of asked you this before, but now we could kind of get even broader. Like, what are some of your hopes and dreams professionally or in general?
My hopes and dreams. I do know whatever I end up doing, I really want to keep doing art commissions as like a side hustle. 'Cause I mean, I love doing it. I mean, not 'cause it's money, but that helps, but it's like a way to meet people, I guess, and that people are interested in having me create art for them. I would just love to always be doing that. That, oh, they're coming to me with an idea. Like, I'm honored. Like, I mean, it makes my day. But like, I would definitely love in some way to work on a movie that's like sci-fi. In whatever, you know, shape or form that takes. Maybe if I'm doing special effects, maybe if I'm, you know, helping produce, or maybe writing. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, that would definitely be like my dream. I mean, or doing like new stuff and seeing where that takes me. But I really want to make like a sci-fi movie.
Any ideas for what that sci-fi movie would look like?
Ooh. I mean, I would definitely want to make a movie that really has no center on Earth. Because I know a lot of sci-fi movies gravitate to aliens invading Earth. I want to make a movie where it's like, we invade another planet. And it's like you flip the script on it. And I don't know, we'll see where that takes me. But I really want to have a movie where it's focused on the aliens in whatever way, shape, or form that takes in the movie. But
it's like, kind of like the way Star Wars goes about it, where Earth isn't really in the picture.
Yeah.
Because it's a galaxy far, far away.
Yep.
And on that same note, do you have any like personal goals?
I mean, I mentioned before I would really like to understand camera work. But in terms of like personal goals for art, I would really like to do more makeup special effects. I know I helped you with the special effects of your short film.
That's a great thing to get into because when this comes out, House Money will be released. Yeah, the makeup work was exceptional.
Thank you.
I looked really messed up. I looked like I had been through some stuff.
That was really fun.
And everybody else did too. And that was like, it adds so much to the film that it becomes like the best part of the film. It's just how insane we look. And I give you big credit to that. Like, if that's something you wanted to go into, like makeup and hairstyling, you could have a potential future in that as well.
Like, there's like so much you could do with makeup. Like, you know, the prosthetics, and even just like simple eyeshadow to like make a bruise. Like, that's cool. Like, just like, you can use anything and you make special effects. Like, I know they use coffee to like dirty up like a shirt for movies. Just like little simple things like that. Like, that's so cool to me, I guess. Like, just like take like everyday items and it works in special effects. I really like to animate. I think animation would be really cool to try and learn. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you could talk to our good friend Jose about that because he's big into animation. And of course, yeah, making movie magic, like we were talking about with the brown on the shirt, very much because Liam also shot House Money and did an awesome job doing that. That was really fun.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that was a super cool project, and to kind of work with you guys both on like, I don't think I've really worked with you on a film before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it turned out really cool, and the things that we were able to do, you know, on a $0 budget pretty much, and in my gross, dirty little basement down there was pretty cool. So yeah,
I mean,
I think it was an awesome first experience, like working with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm so grateful that we got to use your dingy little basement and got to film there because it just adds so much to the film. So yeah,
it was iconic.
It was very iconic.
Yeah. No, definitely, and I mean, that house, like, I don't think has ever been owned by film majors, so hopefully that'll be like an iconic location where people will start doing projects down there whenever they need a dingy space that very much matches that vibe.
Yeah, we could start a little legacy there of all starting with the House Money, our spirits.
Everybody film some in that little dingy basement. Get some going with your short films. Start the legacy.
We got to build the Quinnipiac lore.
Yes.
Exactly, that's what we're doing.
Add that to the Quinnipiac lore.
Yeah, at Casa de Chen.
Yes, the basement that was featured in House Money. Yeah.
They'll be sending tours down there someday.
So here is where House Money was shot.
Whoa, on this table? Whoa.
Wow.
Is this where Sarah sat? Wow, yeah. Yeah, we're manifesting that here on the Zicast. And speaking of film, Sarah, I'd like to ask you, what are some of your favorite movies?
This is a wonderful question. I will say my top pick, for those who know me, I love District 9. District 9 is like my top number one. Like that movie, just like, oh my gosh, I could watch it any day, anytime, anywhere, a million times in one day. I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. That movie is like incredible. I will say, if anyone is looking to watch it, definitely watch it on a big screen. You know, you want to be able to have it like fill up your whole vision as you're watching it. I love Interstellar. I'm just like naming like a bunch of sci-fi movies. I also like horror movies too. Because I share that with my mom and she helped me get into that when I was younger. So I like, you know, Babadook. That's her favorite. So has like good memories of her with it. The Sixth Sense, The Shining, I like. The Witch. I know I mentioned that in one of my packages for hashtag.
You did.
I love so many movies. I love so many sci-fi. If there's an alien in it, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like sat, I'm watching it. Transformers 1. My favorite Transformers movie. So good. But yeah. I also like musicals too. I feel like now I'm just going on like different tangents about it.
No, don't worry.
Little Shop of Horrors. Love Little Shop. There's like so many. There's so many. The list is too long. The list goes on for miles.
No, I think you touched upon some of your favorites in those different genres. And and hearing different kinds of sci-fi films from all throughout history too, I think very much speaks to your like passion for that genre. And I'm excited to hear your voice and your future films you'll make.
Thank you.
Overall, Sarah, I wanted to thank you for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. I mean, first episode of a podcast in the studio. I mean, Ryan Zayek's my goat.
And before we go, Sarah, is there anything you want to add? Like any motivational quotes or plugs or anything?
I'd say, kind of circling back, go out and do something that you love. You know, if you got your favorite hobby, go out, go do your hobby. Maybe you haven't picked up on it in a little bit, but just try, see where it takes you. Text that person that, you know, you love hanging out with. Text your best friend. Be like, you know, I just want to tell you you're my best friend. So go out and have a good day of happiness, positivity, and joy.
That's very Sarah core.
Thank you.
And overall, Sarah, I don't know if I met someone who looks more like Sabrina Carpenter
Thank you.
in my time. I wanted to find a way to mention that you look like Sabrina Carpenter, and this feels like the perfect time.
I've gotten that more than once, that I feel like now it's a pattern, because I get it at my job sometimes. They'll be like, I do get Taylor Swift occasionally, and they'll be like, you look like Taylor Swift, and I'm like, I mean, okay. Or they'll be like, you look like Sabrina, and I'm like, okay. But I take it as a compliment, because they're both gorgeous women. So
maybe you want people to please stop mentioning that. Yeah, and overall, like, the big and very infectious energy that you have is very, very potent.
Thank
very
you.
much brighten every room, and you're so much fun to work with, which is why, like, of House Money, like, you're the first actor I reached out to, because I'm like, I gotta get Sarah in this somehow.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you always, like, liven up hashtag, and I'm very excited to see what you're able to accomplish here at QU, because you have a lot more time than you think, and a lot more opportunities to do crazy things, and I'll be seated with whatever things you do over the course of here and beyond.
Thank you.
And thank you again for coming on. And as always, this is Ryan Zicast for the Zicast, where everyone has a story, signing off. Thank you so much for watching.